Now, you know how I get excited about all things to do with science and medicine, right? Well, I'm thrilled that the spotlight today is on a specific, extraordinary Australian. This Australia Day, just a few select people have been awarded with a Companion of the Order of Australia. And one of the recipients this year is Professor Melissa Little. She's been recognised for her work as a true stem cell pioneer at the Murdoch Children's Research Institute here in Melbourne. She's also the president of the International Society of Stem Cell Research. She joins me now. Melissa, welcome.
Hi, it's great to talk to you.
Professor, I want to absolutely get stuck into stem cells and organoids and unpack all those terms for our listeners. But first, can we perhaps just begin by elevating kidneys? You know, I think they are just thought of as this thing that just kind of makes urine, but from medical school, gosh, I can tell you, the physiology was just absolutely mind-boggling. So I wonder if you can just speak a little bit to kidneys, how important and vital and complex they are.
Yeah, they're an amazing organ, and I've worked on kidney all of my scientific career, in fact. So you can't live without your kidneys, and they don't just produce urine. They're actually regulating your blood pressure, your blood volume, your red cell count, your bone density, and essentially without them, we don't manage our fluid balance, we don't manage our pH balance, and essentially we don't live without kidneys.
And it does present this enormous burden to health, kidney disease.
Yes.
What's the state of that right now in the world?
Yeah, in fact, the Kidney Health Australia, and this agrees with the information worldwide, will tell you that about 10% of us have some evidence of chronic kidney disease, and that end-stage renal failure, that's when you go into kidney failure, is increasing at about 6% per annum worldwide. So it's really a major problem, a really not well discussed problem. When your kidneys fail, there actually are very few options. You either have to be, if you're very lucky, able to have a transplant, and that's only about 1 in 4 patients. And for those patients that don't get a transplant, the options are dialysis, which is a very challenging way to live. And so that's been the case for more than 70 years. We have an increasing number of patients with kidney disease, no particular increase in access to transplants, and we have to find solutions.
And clearly one of those solutions that we've been hunting for is stem cells. I guess, the hope we all have is that you can just, kind of grow a new one, so to speak. But obviously it's not that simple. Can you perhaps explain what have been the roadblocks so far, and what have been these roadblocks that you've been addressing through your research over the decades?
So I guess I'm a physiologist by training, but, for a lot of my career, I've been asking the question, so how do you get a kidney? Like, what happens during development to give you a kidney at the cellular level, at the level of the genes that regulate that process? And now we're really actually reaching a point where we can start to try and use that information to recreate tissues. And that's because we now have access to stem cells that we can convince to go through the process of forming almost any tissue in the body, including the kidney. The kidney, of course, is extremely challenging, because it's not just a cell type. It's almost 30 different cell types, and those cells have to be arranged in a very special way for the kidney to function. And the tubes in the kidney that actually filter your blood and create the urine, there's almost a million tubes like that in every human kidney. So it's really a lot of cells that you would have to produce to replace a kidney.
So you're saying there's lots of different types of cells and also just the sheer number, both of those?
That's right. So it's scale as well as the very many different cell types that are present. So it's a very, very challenging organ.
But you and your teams have succeeded to some extent in recreating this subunit of kidney. Tell us, what exactly is it that you had developed through your work?
Yeah, so using our understanding of normal development, we have actually developed a method where you can take a human stem cell and you can make that stem cell from any person, and been able to recreate a tissue in the laboratory that has these functional nephrons. So the functional unit of your kidney is a nephron, which is a very specialized tube. And we can make a tissue that contains hundreds of nephrons. So that's a remarkable advance. I don't think I could ever have imagined we could reach this point in my career. And now the challenge is really to actually do something with that will help patients.
By which you mean actually forming into a full functioning kidney unit that can actually be put into a human by the sounds of things?
It's still imperfect and it's still subscale. You know, we've got to really make a lot of nephrons. So there's still a really long way to go, but it's a really major step forward. And I think what's really valuable is that people probably don't realize this. About 1 in 15,000 children born will have kidney disease because they inherited a mutation in a gene that affects their kidney function. And so there are kids that have kidney disease, and we can model those diseases using stem cells and try to find drugs that will treat those kids.
It's incredible and very far-reaching impacts of kidney disease, like you're saying, not just in terms of sheer numbers, but children as well. It is a huge, hitherto unimaginable advance that you've been a part of, and right at the coalface of. How do you feel Australian institutions perform generally on the world stage as contributors to medical advancements?
Really well. The sort of cliche is we're punching above our weight. The stem cell biology that we do here in Australia is cutting edge. It's world class. And we have really good stem cell biologists contributing in stem cell derived heart, stem cell derived blood, stem cell derived kidney, stem cell derived brain. There's really a lot of very high quality stem cell researchers. And in general, we have very high quality science in Australia.
And to help Australia punch even more beyond its weight, what do you think would be needed to better platform us to be able to strive further and higher?
Well, I think that we have really substantial support for medical research in this country, and that's incredibly important. We need to assist those scientists to have stable careers in which they can really push the boundaries, because the really big, risky projects are the ones that are going to make a difference. And we are really still in an environment in Australia where science is a niche activity, and it's challenging to remain active in science. But we really need that long-term support to make big change. The Medical Research Future Fund, which is now funding research in this country, is also shifting towards focusing on not just academic outputs but outcomes, and I really support that. We need to help our scientists to ask the questions that will make a difference to the community.
Well, I certainly hope the spotlight on your incredible achievements perhaps spurs some of these changes to occur. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Professor Melissa Little has been awarded the Companion of the Order of Australia for her work in stem cells here at the Murdoch Children's Research Institute.